guys, I'm back with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my everyday makeup routine and like in depth. I'm gonna show you like what products I use. So yeah, let's get right into it. First, say hi to Blue. He just walked in. Here's the baby. Say hi. He's so sleepy. He was playing with his cousins all weekend. This is literally all my makeup behind me, but I have most of the stuff that I use like every day laid out. The first thing that I always start out with is a primer. This is the one I always grab first, Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Gonna make your makeup stick. Super tacky, sticky, it's gonna last all night. A good dupe of this is the e.l.f. Power Grip. I use this one for traveling just because it's a little bit smaller. Just go right in with this stuff, and then I'm just going to blend. I use a brush. You can use your fingers, but I don't know, I just like using brushes because it just feels a little bit cleaner. So the primer is just going to make everything stick really well. You want to make sure you give that a second to dry a little bit. But I've been going in with this Saie Super Tan Glowy Gel. It's the Sun Glow Glowy Super Gel. This is just going to add to this base, this good base we want to make. So it's just going to make your makeup a little glowier. I'm like almost out. It's kind of like a dupe for the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops, but this is just when you want that extra glowiness and a little bit of a tan, a better base. So you can skip this step, it really doesn't matter. I don't do this every day, just when I'm feeling a little bit paler, but I think it really does help even my skin tone out. Next, I got this for Christmas. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Color Correcting. I've been using this before my foundation. Just go in with a little tiny little foundation brush. I'll put this kind of like under my eyes when I'm feeling extra tired and sleepy, and it just brightens them up a little bit. I'll also go over some of my really red spots, acne spots, just so you guys can get a closer up. Look at this. Magic. And then that's going to be like a perfect base to when you, like after I put the foundation on, then it's going to be completely invisible. I shouldn't say completely, but mostly. So as you can see, my skin already is looking so much better, and I don't even have any foundation or concealer on yet. Getting a good base is really important so that your makeup can stay. It doesn't end up cakey and it doesn't crease. I feel like I used to not really do that stuff, but it's really important to do the steps in between. Now I'm going in with this fixing spray by Lancome, and I do this like in between a few steps, not every step, but because I put the color correcting on, I'm going to put this on now. So just a generous spray. Next, go ahead and do my brows. I kind of switch out through the stuff I use, but this is the Benefit Brow Gel 24-hour brow setter. This is a ride or die. Definitely makes the brows stay. Love this stuff. I have it in the bigger bottle. This is just my travel size. I don't even fill my eyebrows in. I literally just brush them up just like that. Next, my go-to foundation has been this Makeup Forever HD Skin. This is definitely a full coverage foundation, so like you don't need that much. Like I just do 3 little pumps of it and then go in with a foundation brush, and I mainly just get my cheek areas, but this will really make everything come together. And I know this feels like a lot of product, but when it's on my face it doesn't feel heavy at all, and I think that comes from like just having a really good base, blending really well, and just using the right products. As you can see, we are looking very tanned, and now it's time to brighten up the face with some concealer. So I go back and forth. I use the Hourglass concealer. This one is a little bit brighter than the Kosas concealer that I use. The Kosas one is a little bit creamier and more natural, and the Hourglass is a little bit more like brightening. So I normally use the Kosas on like an everyday basis, so I'm going to show you guys the Kosas. And then I'll do a little bit in the middle of my forehead and a little bit on my chin. I'm gonna wait with my concealer and really let that soak in, and then I'll set it with some fixing spray. Same fixing spray by Lancome. I'm sure people have seen, obviously you've seen this, but when you leave your concealer on for longer, it's going to stay a lot better. And then I'm gonna go in with a damp beauty blender and just blend it out. I know it's easier to use a brush, but I think doing under eyes is so much better when you're using a beauty blender, because it really presses it into the skin. Like I've noticed even when I do this after basketball games, usually the makeup that is left is under my eyes and it'll stay. Okay, I decided I'm going to add, it looks pretty bright in the camera, but in person it's really not that bright, and I'm looking really tan in the mirror, and I want my under eyes to be a little bit brighter, so I'm gonna go with the Hourglass concealer. Literally the tiniest dot in the middle, because that's all you need with this concealer. It's super bright. Okay, so now that that's blended, we want to make sure we do all of our cream stuff first. If you want, I feel like I normally can skip this stuff, but if you want to get a little bit more bronze, I go in with the Fenty Match Stick. I use this as a contouring stick, so just add a little bit to the cheekbones. I don't need any on my forehead, I feel like, and maybe just a tiny bit under the chin. Normally I would contour my nose and up here, but because I'm feeling pretty tan, we're just gonna do the cheekbones a little bit just to balance out the concealer that we blended up. And this stuff literally blends like butter. Next, for cream blush, I am normally grabbing this NARS liquid blush. Let me just like zoom in on like the shade, because I literally don't like to say it out loud. Or I'll go in with the Benetint blush, which it's a little bit more red, but I normally have been going for this like really light pink time, so we're gonna go with the NARS liquid. And make sure you do your creams first, and then we're gonna add like our powders on top and blend this out. And sometimes if I feel like I have too much product, I'll grab the beauty blender, pat it a few times, because the beauty blender absorbs a lot of product too. Should blend it up our cheekbone, a little bit on the nose. Now after that is normally when I get one more setting spray, because we finished all of our cream products. And then I'm going to go in with my setting powder, which I've been using this Laura Mercier setting powder in the shade Translucent Honey, which this one's a little bit more yellow tone, which I feel like comes off a little bit more natural when you have a super bright eye. Or I'll use this Huda Beauty in the shade Sugar Cookie, and this one's really bright. And then the Laura Mercier is like really not bright. As you can see, literally the powder colors are completely different. But I don't know, I've just been grabbing the Laura Mercier one a little bit more, so we're gonna go in with this one. And then literally got this little, I don't even know what you call it, but just from Amazon. Take what's on the lid, pat the excess on your hand, and then go in under the eye. But I kind of go in there just under my eyes, and then I go in the middle of the forehead, because I'll get really greasy right there. Then is when I'm going to go in with the bronzer. Of course, my go-to is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the shade 3 Tan. This is going to give you a good, nice, good tan. Definitely make sure to blend down the neck so that we don't have a different color face than the rest of our body. So we go in with a powder blush, and I've been reaching for this Makeup by Mario in the shade Poppy. I think it goes well with the NARS liquid blush that I've been using. Or I have this little sample Hourglass powder blush. It's kind of just like a lighter pink. The other one is, this one is more of a standout pink, so we're gonna use this one. Super pigmented off the skin, but you can never have too much blush. So after I have all of these powder products on, I like to go in with the Dewy Setting Spray by Anastasia, and this is just going to make your makeup a little bit more shiny. So I'm gonna go in with a few. I drench myself in this stuff because I don't like to add any highlighter, because I've been realizing that like throughout the day my makeup tends to get really greasy anyways, so it's better for me just to add like a dewy setting spray than like adding a highlighter, because it's almost like I have a natural highlighter. Going with that, gotta let this dry a little bit. And then for the lips, I'll normally just make sure we wipe off the excess foundation off your lips, and even when you don't think there's any on there, there is. So I can feel the setting spray kind of drying. For the lips, first I'll use the Laneige lip mask, put a little layer of this on. Make sure your lips are hydrated too before you put lip gloss or lipstick on them, because then it's going to really like help that lip gloss or lipstick stay, and I think you won't have to reapply it as much if you make sure you put something on your lips before. So I'm just gonna go in with this Fenty lip gloss. It's just a clear lip gloss in the shade Glass Slipper, and I think this stuff actually like dries my lips out, but when I mix it with the Laneige lip mask, then like it stays and my lips feel super hydrated. So for eyes, I normally don't do anything, but you guys, this is my everyday makeup face that I like to put on. I don't do anything with my eyelashes because I have eyelash extensions, and they're crazy right now. Normally it would like obviously brush them, make them look a little better, but they're like missing, so we're not gonna do that today. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else or a different type of makeup look, but this is really what I do every day, you know, sometimes skip a few products here and there, but thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see next. Bye.